Hey guys, welcome back to Mike Lad, the SEN Dad. Like and subscribe on what is going to be a impromptu, impulsive video. I hope you enjoy it. Just found a hat somewhere, yeah. Totally coincidental, just going to wear it on a whim, yeah. There's no Gallagher hat, yeah. I just got a spare shirt here as well. It's just a random shirt, just picked it up. Yeah, have a look. Yeah. So, if you haven't lived under a rock recently, you probably learned that Arsenal won their first Premier League title in 22 years. This video is just going to be a kind of reflection of why it means so much to all the fans. Now, of course, it's kind of proofs in the pudding. It's been 22 years. There's been a lot of heartbreak in that time. I remember 2013 losing to Birmingham in the League Cup final. I remember Eduardo breaking his leg when we probably should have won the league that year. Gallas crashing out. I remember Ramsey also breaking his leg at Stoke. We actually won that game but fell apart in the league. I remember going to Barcelona, the ball rolling over Bender's leg. I remember getting beat 10-2 at Bayern Munich. I remember more recently, obviously, going up against City and falling short 3 years in a row, once to Liverpool. All of that's part of it, that pain, that suffering, which makes it all the more sweeter. You don't want to have you can't have the rain without the rainbow, I think Dolly Parton once said. But there's another reason which I think people are talking about. So it's not going to be a particularly original video, this, but the mainstream media and its treatment of Arsenal, you can say from the beginning of time or since my lifetime, which is 35 years, but particularly the last 5-6 years, Mikel Arteta's tenure at the club. Now, because of the explosion of fan media, which I'm actually a big fan of AFTV, which kind of led the way. There's now 1 million fan podcasts out there, fan platforms. Because of that, Sky, Talk Sport, and other parts of the mainstream media have adopted the kind of fan media philosophy, which is kind of less analysis, because, you know, fans have never played the game at any level. Some analysis is great, but why it kind of exploded was less analysis and more kind of emotion, more kind of ranting, more kind of jokes and banter, the big word banter, which is going around quite a lot. And that has infiltrated the mainstream media and become a sizable part of the way Arsenal's been treated by pundits, former professional footballers, many of whom incredibly successful. So if you look at Arsenal over the last 5 years, their points total has been the highest over the last 3 years, I believe. They've spent less money than Manchester City, less money than Manchester United, less money than Chelsea. And during that time, when Chelsea have fallen apart, basically, this year Liverpool have fallen apart, Man United have been nowhere for God knows how long, they've actually spent less money than Spurs since Arteta took over. And Spurs are fighting a relegation battle. Arsenal have got more criticism. Now, I expect that from rival fans to go on and say second again, ole, 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 and, you know, you bottled it and this, that, and the other. But that criticism of a team that has kept going again, and again, 4 years in a row, after falling apart in 23-24 and bottling it against a prime Kevin De Bruyne-led Manchester City, prime Rodri, prime Ruben Dias, prime Bernardo Silva, in a year when no one thought Arsenal would be challenging. Very few people thought they'd even be challenging for top four. They'd thrown away top four the year before against Spurs. And then to go again the next year, to go toe-to-toe with City and be 2 points off, get 89 points. And then last year, yeah, they fell apart a little bit in the Premier League, but got to the semi-final of the Champions League, a competition they'd only been back in for their second year. To keep going and show that consistency and to get less criticism than all these other clubs that have basically been mismanaged and have fallen apart and have let themselves down and have let their fans down. And I know Arsenal have a big fan base online. I know clicks and banter do get exposure. People do like it. But you're supposed to be pundits. You're supposed to tell me something I don't know. I've never played the game at any level. Yeah, I don't want to hear, oh, second place is nothing. I imagine as a professional sportsman, going again, when you keep failing, when you've got rival fans going at you, when you've got the mainstream media going at you, it's fairly difficult. And all I kept hearing was, oh, they bottled it, oh, quad bottle, oh, they can't do that. And these are supposed to be people who are analysing the game, people that I pay a lot of money to watch. And I wouldn't really watch a lot of the punditry, but it is everywhere now. Yeah, you have to pay that amount of money to just watch the football. That's just the way it is, and I'm not going to go into that for this video. But, and now, the goalposts have shifted again. It's now they finally won it. It's set pieces because you can't score from set pieces, or it's they're too physical, or there's too many dark arts. I remember under Wenger when players were getting their legs broken. It was Arsenal was soft. You can get at Arsenal. You get under their skin. They lack discipline. Arsene Wenger's he's not hard enough, or the team aren't hard enough. I never remember any of this praise for beautiful football when they were getting beaten 10-2 by Bayern Munich over two legs, or when they crashed out against Barcelona, or when Koscielny collided with Szczesny and bloody Obafemi Martin scored the winner. I never remember that because it didn't exist. The game then was about winning. Now it seems to be about whatever angle we can get to, whatever shifting goalposts we can do to try and blame Arsenal. And now Arsenal fans have receipts. Arsenal fans will remember this. And now, because there's narrative going around, Arsenal fans are insufferable, worst insufferable fan base, blah, 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 blah. When rival fans have gone at them, and so have mainstream pundits. I remember 4 years ago, we lost to Brentford. Brentford just come up, played fantastically, the better team that day. Arsenal team was decimated by COVID. And you got Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville dancing with the Brentford fans. Dancing with the Brentford fans. I remember beating Liverpool a couple of years ago in basically a title challenging game. Odegaard wanted to take a picture of the photographer who, if you watch the documentary, Amazon All or Nothing, loves the club. Arteta got him to the team talk and Carragher, I can't do that, honestly, get down the tunnel. It's disgraceful. That's Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports. Not some guy down the pub. Not, Liverpool Fan TV or the Cop TV or whatever they want to call it. I also remember Gary Neville saying a few years back that if Arteta gets top four, he should walk away from the club because that's the best he's going to do. And, listen, we get things wrong, we do. But I don't remember apologising for that. And this is a guy who I actually think could be a good manager, but his one managerial job, he completely messed up at Valencia. And he was also assistant at England during the Iceland debacle. Do you remember that? And then you've got people like Chris Sutton being the celebration police. We over-celebrate. We celebrate like we won the league. And now people are saying we're celebrating too much when we've won the league. And you see how much it actually does affect the players. You've got Miles Lewis-Skelly and Saka. One of those guys is 18 years old, talking about how we've been called bottlers and now we're holding the bottle. And you've got them drinking out of bottles. And, these are young men with phones. And football is everywhere now. There's games all the time. The content is everywhere. They can't escape it. They can't block it out. I hear people say block out the noise. How? It's everywhere. It's on your phone, it's on the TV, it's on the TV in the pub, it's on the TV in your grand's house, it's everywhere. And speaking of the bottle thing, yeah, that fan did it and it was quite funny. I'll give him that. It actually was quite funny. But the original story was he went to the game at the Emirates at the start of the season in the summer and said to the Arsenal physios who were doing something, my son's thirsty, can you give me a bottle of water? Which they kindly did. Now, if that story is true, fine. If it's not true, that's not great, is it? You've made up a story and then you've taken the bottle and for 10 months you've held the bottle and then you've done what you've done. And yeah, fine, that was great. You wanted your minutes of fame, you got it. And it was mildly funny. But then Sky didn't have to show it, didn't have to put focus on it, but they did because they thought, that's funny, it'll get loads and loads of traction and it'll get us loads of attention. This is a company which charges extortionate amounts of money for you to watch, for us to watch the football. I don't really want to see fan-led banter. I can get that on YouTube. That's why IFTV and all these other channels, 100% Chelsea is another one. What's the other one? Mark Goldbridge, all those watch-along people. That's why they're so successful. And they use the Gogglebox philosophy, basically. Gogglebox had this idea, we're gonna get people to watch people watching TV, and loads of people thought it was crazy, and it became one of the most successful shows probably ever. And that watch along thing is basically inspired by that, which is fine, but I can watch that if I want to watch that. I don't want to watch that when I'm watching the football, which I'm paying extortionate amounts of money to do. And now people are going to have to take the medicine, yeah? You all went through it. You all said quad bottle or bottle jobs. Why argue with an Arsenal fan when you can just wait? Why, from dancing in November to crying in May, the Arsenal way. Netflix FC from Patrice Evra, a former footballer, a former Man United footballer, an incredibly successful one. John Obi Mikel constantly crying about Arsenal and saying, not even wishing us. He did a big speech on his podcast the other day. You know, if you don't know, a former Chelsea player, very successful. I never really understood what he actually did on the football pitch, but maybe that's because I'm not a former footballer. I'd love to hear it from the pundits who played the game. They're supposed to tell me these things because I don't understand it. I don't see it like you. I played five-a-side. You got him saying, Arsenal terrible, it's all set pieces, all this, they're too defensive, too boring. You played for Mourinho's Chelsea. Yeah, and I remember saying all this, oh, they're boring, it's defensive, they ruined it. When I was 13 years old in the school playground, going to school in West London, that kind of analysis, 13-year-old biased, boy, has become mainstream analysis from former footballers. So now you've all got to kind of just suck it up and take your medicine. You're going to get a bit back over the next, I think it's going to be a few days. I think it's going to be more like a few weeks or months. Yeah, because the goalposts kept shifting. They're going to shift again. If we don't win the Champions League, it's going to be a terrible season. Oh, Arsenal, they bottled it again. Oh, Arsenal, how terrible they are. When we don't have a divine right to win the Champions League, it's our third year back in the Champions League. Ferguson won 2 Champions Leagues out of 22 years or however long he was at United. So it's not something that we have a divine right to win. It's not something that we are favourites to win. So but it will be moulded around and changed, because they bottled it, or look at them, Arteta can't get it over the line, or this, that and the other, always a set piece. And look at the way it worked. The last game of the season that Arsenal played, Kai Havertz scores with a set piece. It almost felt like it was set in stone. And then people are going to complain about referees. And yeah, Arsenal had a lot of luck from the referees this season. But I never remembered anyone complaining when Arsenal were in a team who seemed to get second yellows for players kicking the ball away. Or when Martinelli got 2 yellow cards in the same instant, which has never happened before or since in football. No one was complaining then. I don't remember people saying much when Abu Diaby got sent off for grabbing Drake Barton around the neck when he tried to 2-foot tackle him. A guy who had his career smashed because of awful tackling by various people. I didn't hear any of this then. I didn't hear any of this, you got to look at how great Wenger is, the beautiful football, or Arsenal, look, they got a fair point, the referees aren't doing their job. No, it was just get on with it. Yeah, stop crying. So now, rather than trying to move the goalpost, rather than trying to be critical, rather than trying to be an immature, sulky little baby, yeah, suck it up, take your medicine, and maybe next year we can have some actual analysis. I know they do analysis at times, but do we have to have fan-led banter everywhere we go? Do we have to have it on Sky? Do we have to have it on TalkSport? I mean, TalkSport been doing this for years. Like 20 years ago, Adrian Durham did a daily Arsenal, and his whole thing was, I want to wind up Arsenal fans, I'll get them to call in, I'll take the mick out of them, bear baiting. Are we not better than this? Are we not better? These are big corporations who are charging huge fees, making big money. TalkSport is owned by Murdoch now, or The Sun, or one of those big conglomerates. Yeah, so now, yeah, and the overlap literally takes YouTube Sky fans, puts them all in the room and puts them together and tries to get them to argue. It's almost like the Big Brother philosophy. You put people in a confined space, combustible elements, it'll all be fantastic TV. Yeah, again, this is not good enough. And the reason why this means so much to Arsenal fans is we've had to sit and listen to all this criticism, all this nonsense, all this all this I'm going to say this immature fan thing, even though I'm a professional pundit, even though I'm a former professional footballer, even though I'm a successful professional footballer, or was a successful professional footballer, and I'm paid extortionate amounts of money to be a pundit, I'm still going to do that silliness. I'm still going to go and say what I'm going to say. I'm still going to be stupid and have a laugh and, complain about Mikel Arteta being out of his technical area when Pep is kicking chairs, or when Pep is scratching himself. Or I'm gonna complain when there's a slight, when a set piece, clearly David Raya's hand gets grabbed, and I'm going to complain about Arsenal doing not the same thing. I'm going to be disingenuous and say, Arsenal do it all the time, when they don't. I've had a look, apart from the one maybe Saliba at Old Trafford at the start of the season, where he kind of does it, but not when the ball's in play and not for as long. And Arsenal have scored, I think, 25 goals from set pieces this year. I'm going to just be disingenuous, and I'm going to try and gaslight and try and feed this frenzy to work up rival fans to try and discredit Arsenal, because I don't want to be magnanimous. I don't want to be classy. I don't even be honest or fair. I just want to gaslight. I just want to be stupid. I just want to put people down, you know? How many pundits could I name who have just said the same thing, who have continuously done the same nonsense, yeah? So now, up the Gunners, 22 years, yeah? And want to watch the PSG game, go for it. But be fair, yeah? And stop this nonsense. Congratulate us, and we'll see you all again next year. Up the Gunners.